and side coming going towards London, but obviously I'm going through Essex, and I remember thinking to myself, fucking hell, someone's getting nicked. Carried on driving, so I'm on the A13 now. I think I'd cut from the A13, so I'd split from the A13 to the A12 now. So I'm about 20 miles away from where I see these armed police, and I looked in my rearview mirror and I see them all behind me. So I was like, oh my God. So I've tried to do that tactical manoeuvre, you know, where you go into the middle lane and I go back to the fast lane. They all done the same thing. So I'm like, no, it wasn't even like that, mate. So I've come off at the next junction, still hoping, yeah, that they were just gonna take me over, or basically they weren't for me. And then I just see there was a couple of them, like a couple of undercovers. They've tried to pull it off, just took off like an idiot. I didn't even make it 30 seconds. I've hit a corner.
What did you drive?
Crashed. I was in a 320 BMW.
You didn't make it nowhere?
Didn't make it nowhere. The thing is, I was getting nicked anyway, so I should have just pulled over because I would have kept my license. So I've gone head on into someone, jumped out of the car. The car was completely writ off. I don't even know. I didn't even have a
scratch. How much did you hit the guy? What was you driving?
I was probably doing about. Must have been doing about 50, 60, I reckon. I was going fast. But I lost control. I lost control on the corner.
Did something happen to the guy you crashed into?
Yeah. He had to get cut out of the car. He was like, I don't know, something happened. I think he broke his leg. Something the way the car. He was obviously.
Did you get extra charges?
No extra charges for that. No extra charges for him. I got a dangerous drive, so I've jumped out of the car, panicked. Before I knew it, I've just felt bang like that. I'm up in the air. On the pavement, fucking run me over. I'm nicked. Yeah, I got nicked by. It turns out it was Trident. Got nicked by Trident. Massive operation.
Just for a second, explain to the people what Trident is.
Yeah, so Trident, it's obviously all it's all gun crime, but it started off being a black on black gun crime police organisation, obviously targeting, you know, black men, black women, whoever that was, you know, involved in gun crime towards each other. But then over the years it changed, and it's now all gun crime, yeah.
So at that point when you're living that life, you feel untouchable?
Yeah, of course. Well, you do, innit? But you're not untouchable, are you? You feel like obviously you're doing it for the money. Like the end goal is to cash in and make money, but at the same time you're still, you know, trying to like make a name for yourself, and it's the thrill, it's the buzz of it, it's the buzz of getting away with it. Yeah, I've just done that, I've just got away with it, and. Yeah.
When did things escalate into weapons, into artillery?
Basically, it all started when I had my first prison sentence, and then I got out, and then I'm a bit of a lump now. Like I'm 18. I've had a couple of fights in jail, and I've established myself that I can handle myself now, and I ended up funny enough, like one of the guys that used to like. Bully me, not bully me, yeah, but he used to stick it on me all the time, and he was a part of the groups, and he ended up becoming my best mate, and he was notorious on the manor, like for violence, and he become one of my best mates, and like me and him was just, you know, notorious, like on the manor we lived on, like we was untouchable.
Let's talk prison.
Yeah, when you come off the bus, you don't know what to expect. Going into reception. Getting everything took off me, all my trainers. I remember my pal had to bring me up another pair of trainers, because back then, if you went in there and you had one pair of trainers, they give you a pair of shoes. You used to have to wear a black or brown pair of shoes until you had another pair of trainers. So what I'm trying to say is you used to have two pair of trainers. Like if you had one pair of trainers, yeah, your trainers get took off you and put in a box, and you'd have like a black pair of shoes. And I remember walking around these shoes for a couple of weeks, and I felt like, right, mug.
It felt hard for you?
Yeah.
In terms of fighting, in terms of...
No, not really. No, not really that jail, no.
Easy work?
It's when I moved from there, that's when it all...
Let's say, what was your darkest moment inside any jail?
This prison sentence, what I've just had here, where I was on the verge of losing everything, like my kids and all that, that's when I think it was the most hardest. So I was lucky to keep them.
How does that feel? Your kids?
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
My kid, I got 21, he's going to be 21 in a couple of days.
21?
Yeah, 15 and 8, yeah.
So what hits the hardest for you?
Just knowing that, that's what made me change. I know that I have to change for them. And that's what helped me change my mindset. You see like when you're trying to change your life, say like you're involved in something, you're a drug dealer or you're a burglar or you're a robber, you can't just pull yourself away from that lifestyle whilst you're active doing it and change. Maybe you can, but it's a lot of hard graft. But when you're banged up in a cell and it's only you and then four walls, that's how you can change your mindset. And I was lucky enough to do that. Like my son, like my 15-year-old now, like he's known like since he was like 3 years old, because I used to, like when he was like 3 years old, I used to ring him and read him bedtime stories, and he'd ask where I was, like, and they know, like, obviously at that age I'd never say, yeah, I'm in prison. Yeah, of course, because I've been absent from their life. 100%.
Do you think it makes a difference on how they are?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not noticing that, especially my oldest. Like it disconnects you.
21, right?
Yeah, he's going to be 21 in a couple of days. Yeah, it disconnects you. It completely disconnects. No. That's the only saving, and the saving. I'm going to say saving grace, yeah, because I'm quite a spiritual person. I'm going to say saving grace because I think they've looked at my life, seen what I've done, seen the prison time that I've done, and thought, you know what, I don't want to be like that. And they're on different paths. Yeah, so my name's El, and I'm the co-founder alongside my boy Scott, who's behind the camera, of Pavements to Prisons. And if you want to follow us, you can follow us on TikTok and Instagram. That's Pavements to Prisons. And yeah, our platform, like I said, it's not to glorify things. It's all about talking about my story and also my pal's story as well. Like, he hasn't really come involved in it yet, but he's going to shortly. Like, he's got a story to tell. Yeah. So I've done 16 years of jail. I don't regret nothing that I've done, because there's no point living in regret. Would I go back and change things? Like, if I could, no. What's done is done. Like, I'm an experience, you know. Like, I've lived that life, and like I keep saying, no one can't tell me nothing. And I feel from my experiences, the life that I've lived, I can now use it as a weapon to help people, and that's what I want to do.